Alright, let's do this. I'm gonna try shooting a video while I drive, and you can come along with me for the ride. I was actually gonna shoot the video here in the car without driving, but I thought, why not just drive, you know? The car is already on for the air conditioner to be on, so it makes sense for me to just shoot the video. Try not to get too distracted by the camera. So I'm in my city, actually not my city, I'm in my father's hometown. It's called Burici. Burici is a local fruit. It's like a reddish fruit with a tangy taste. And I used to eat a lot of Burici sweet when I was a kid. Actually, I'm gonna try to find it. I hope they still have it. It's a very distinct fruit. I am from São Luís, which is the capital of Maranhão, right? And let's see what I'm going to talk about. Actually, I've been thinking about talking about a few Maranhenses, right? Some people from Maranhão that I admire and that I see value in, and that it would be nice for me to share them with the world. And since I shoot in English, it makes sense, you know, like to internationalize those people. There's this guy that I met recently that he actually shoots videos like this, and this has inspired me. He goes around town riding his bike and talking, and he travels, he does the same, and I like this style, and I want to try it. This is why I'm driving and talking, and also this is why I'm shooting a video for YouTube instead of Instagram, so I don't have to rush, you know. If you want to hear me, you can, and I don't have to rush in my message. But this guy has really changed the way I see money. And money is very important to me, has always been. But I haven't treated it the way I should have my whole life, you know? So one thing is for you to say that money is important to you. And another thing is to actually take care of it responsibly, right? Because it's not the same thing to value money and to want money and to be a slave of it, right? Because if you don't set the whole system straight, which he taught me, you're just a slave of money. You don't actually value it, right? So what has he taught me? Actually, those are very fundamental concepts that I just didn't get. I didn't absorb them. I couldn't make them real. So, the first thing he changed about my perception of money was, you do have to have cash flow, right? You have cash flow, you have money that goes into your account and leaves your account. For me, up until before I began learning from him, that was all supposed to be spent, you know? The money is in my account. I have something that has to be done. I have something that I want to buy. I buy it now with the money that is in my account. Also, my relationship to credit was completely crazy, you know? Like, I'm going to use the credit card. I'm going to... in Brazil, we have this culture of payment in installments, right? So when I use this money, it's mine. I had this perception that the money was mine. And then when the bill came, I was like, I'm not supposed to pay this. I don't have money. It's like I just didn't think of the future. I just did not see the future of my money. So he helped me change that by having the cash flow be part of a bigger system. So the cash flow is one thing, and then you have your emergency funds, right? So you have to have at least 6 months of survival money saved up, like your groceries, health insurance, maybe rent. I mean, the basic. After you have that, then you have to start buying stuff, like getting properties, right? Buying stock, maybe buying houses, land, apartment, cars maybe, which is not like the best kind of asset, but yes, it is an asset. But you can't do it the other way around. And then I did that. I used to have my cash flow and have my investments in stock. Like, how can I have investments if I don't have an emergency fund? Why? Because those investments are not protected, you know? I actually played a game recently with a few friends back in Buenos Aires. It's like a version of Monopoly. It's like just like a 15-minute long card game, right? And then the game uses this concept of you have your property, you have your houses and stuff, and then you have money that whenever someone has to charge you money for rent or something like this, you first lose your money, and then if you don't have any money to protect your property, you lose your property. And this is exactly what happens in real life, right? You have the money and you have the property, and if you don't have the money, you lose the property. So you need to have this money in order to protect the property. But why, and this is the fundamental philosophy of his methodology, why do you have those two things in the first place? Why not just spend that money? Why buy property? Makes no sense. I have immediate needs. I want to travel now. I want to buy a car now. I want to, live now. What if I die tomorrow, The thing is, those things give you peace. And this is the very purpose of money. Purpose of wealth, to give you peace. And I have this little anecdote about myself, that I bought a few consoles, like video game consoles, a few times. Like I bought an Xbox 360. I used to have a PS4, and I even bought a PS5 controller to play on my computer. The thing is that buying those things always made me anxious. Like, playing games made me anxious because, hey, I shouldn't be playing games, I should be working. But why do I think that? Because I didn't develop the wealth, these emergency funds and the property. So I have peace to play a game or to do anything, like to not have to work when I travel, to give myself vacations if I need it, And this is a principle that really changed the way I see money. So you have the cash flow, the emergency funds, and then the assets. So this is important. Also, about credit cards, he has a sheet, right? He has a little sheet that helps instrumentalize all of this. And the first thing that he asks you to do is list down all of your expenses, right? Like your rent, your how much you spend on groceries and all that. But one of those things is the credit cards. Like, open every bank that you have and go to every future installment and add to your sheet. So in July I have to pay this to this bank. In September, October, November, December I have to pay these respective amounts on these credit cards. And that helped me finally understand credit card, and visualize it, because I have a very immediatist brain. So I didn't understand how to deal with credit, right? But now everything, all of my debt, all of my future revenue as well is already in the sheet. So I have a clear visualization, and that allows me to make decisions. Right. For example, if I want to buy something, can I pay in debit, off of my cash flow right away? I can add it to my sheet and see if everything goes to yellow, to red, how well my my financial health responds, right, to this decision. And this is nice. Like, should I pay in credit so I can add the installments and see how things would fit? But of course, I still don't have emergency funds, so I also have to have that to take that into consideration, right? That I should first do that, and then start buying stuff that I want, right? Focus on the priority. So this guy is called Breno Nogueira. I really like the way he communicates. He is from São Luís Maranhão, just like me. He's been living in São Paulo for a while, so he has left the city for a while. And by following this very simple system, he has bought a few properties. He's got a very good salary today. And it was very interesting for me to download that sheet, to buy that sheet that is like very, very affordable. It was like $40 tops, I think. So, if you understand Portuguese, or if you're learning Portuguese and you want to solve your financial life, you can definitely buy his sheet. I do recommend it. And as soon as I began, it was all red because I had debt. Oh, something else about debt that I was crazy about, like the way I dealt with it. Since my brain is very immediatist, what did I do? Like, what did I do in the beginning of this year, 2025? I maxed out all my credit. There's this thing in Brazil called Pix, right? Pix is basically a technology that allows you to transfer money without paying any fee. It's free, it's immediate, it's instantaneous. You can do it between your bank accounts, other people's bank accounts. It's very good. It's one of the best systems in the world. But the banks have implemented the possibility of transferring money using your credit. So you basically get a loan, and basically get a little loan from the bank. I can transfer myself, like another bank, another account of mine, 1,000 reais, let's say, and then I can pay that in installments in the credit card, and that is very dangerous because then you have all this money. This is what I did. I did with all my credit cards. I did that, and I drowned myself in debt, having to pay those credit cards. So this is my immediatist nature speaking, right? All right, let's max out all the credit next month or the next few months. I'm gonna start earning more money. I'll be able to pay for this, but then I forget that I have to pay the credit card because there are so many, so it becomes a mess. But then, where does my brain go right afterwards? I have debt to pay. I have to stop living to pay the debt, This is my, I start summing up all the debt. Oh, I have to pay 14,000 reais. And then I should have a salary of 14,000 in order to pay all of this debt right now. So stop living, stop buying everything, let's pay the debt. I also think of debt in a very immediatist way. And that is crazy. If you have debt and if it's payable in installments, pay the debt in installments. It's gonna go away at one point. You don't have to stop living, right? And this is also a very interesting principle of his methodology. But let me go back to this for a second. So as soon as I began, everything was red. Everything was red. But then I realized that I had money in my investments. And it makes no sense to have investments while you have debt. So I started recovering this money and getting it back into my account. And also I started making a lot of money. Making much more money. Because I'm much more focused now. Oh, I need this amount, and this amount to make this kind of influence on my income. So let me sell this service. Let me pay it. Let me, message this client that didn't pay me yet. Let me, get more profit out of this operation. Let me make this person more efficient so they can make me more money. So I started making more money. This is crazy. And then everything got into green. Everything is green now, and keeping it green. I'm gonna keep it green. This is the intention. This is the idea, right? So about the debt, and then I put all my debt, I spread it out the way it's supposed to be done, and there we go. It's still green. I'll get to that date in which I have to transfer that amount of money. For example, I got a loan from my sister a while ago, and then I thought, I have to pay 12,000 now. Find a way. No, it's not like that. You have to pay 14 installments of 1,200, and it's already there. In August, the next installment, I will have this amount of money in my account, and I'll pay her, and then I'll still be on green, because everything is predicted. It's predictable. I can visualize everything, and that is very good. Now, his mission is very important, because Brazil is like, Brazilians are not good in general at looking at money like this. We are used to expecting salary. There is a very funny expression in Brazilian Portuguese, right? It's called, the expression is contar com o ovo no cu da galinha. I learned this from my father, which is like to count with the egg in the chicken's arsehole, literally. So we have a salary. So let's say I make 2,000 reais, and then I want to buy a TV that costs 4,000, and I can pay in 10 installments of 400, right? So since I'm already counting on my salary, I'm gonna make this purchase, and then you keep adding those little purchases, I'll have enough money next month. I'll have enough money next month. I'll have enough money next month. Always counting with the next thing, But the rich way to think is about wealth. What is my actually net worth? What are my assets? What is the amount of my savings? Of course, the salary is an asset, but you can lose that. And if you lose this asset, this income, you still have to be financially steady and stable in order to survive, because you're building wealth. You're not just making money. So this is basically what I learned from him, and I'm very glad that you are listening to this, and that I decided to shoot this video. It was fun, super cool. Now I'm gonna go back home. I'll post this video very soon, and leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on Instagram, Tavo Braga. Alright, TAVO BRAGA, Tavo Braga. Tavo comes from Gustavo, alright? And actually I met my aunt Elmira, she used to call me Tavinho. She does call me Tavinho, right? And this is a way to honor her memory, because she helped to raise me and my siblings. So Tavo makes me think of her, and it's an alternative, because like Gustavo is a very common name, and in Brazil at least, and there are several nicknames like Goose, Gus, Gusta, Gusto, Gugu. There are several nicknames for the beginning of the name, right? So I decided to make a little nickname for the second part of it. So thank you for listening, and see you next time.